Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. Its-A-Mii here, and today we're doing yet another Nintendo Switch 2 game unboxing, this time for Sonic Shadow Generations. This is one that I feel like not too many people are picking up, so we're going to check out the physical for this, as well as do a little bit of handheld gameplay and impressions of the game. If you are new here and you enjoy Nintendo Switch 2 unboxings and want to see more, I've already uploaded a ton of the launch titles. We're going to be doing even more later tonight and tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Let's get into it. Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel. Here we are with the game keycard version of Sonic Shadow Generations on Nintendo Switch 2. This is one that I probably would not have bought if I wasn't doing all these unboxings, to be honest. I have it on Switch. In fact, I have that right here. We can kind of compare. I wish Sega had been doing an upgrade path for this game. They actually just confirmed that the Sonic racing game, Cross Worlds, that's going to have a Switch 2 upgrade path later this year when the Switch 2 version comes out. But for some reason, for Shadow Generations, they just didn't do that. So not sure why they decided to go that route. A little annoying. You should offer a $10 upgrade or even a way to do it for free, but no, you have to buy the full game again for $50. So here is the box arts. They kind of zoomed it out a little bit, as you can see from the Switch 1 version. But yeah, this is the Day 1 edition, although, I mean, the game came out there was a Day 1 edition back in November, too. Day 1 for the Switch 2 version, I suppose, of Shadow Generations includes Gerald Robotnik's journal. I believe, yeah, the other one did as well. This is a game keycard release, which means it is going to be a 24 gig download. Wow, that's bigger than I thought for this game. Here we have the Switch 2 spine for the game, Sonic Shadow Generations. You got that Sega logo there. Definitely liking these more than the Switch 1 spines. Mine has a little dent in it, it looks like. Yeah, this is definitely better than the red Switch 1 here, where it just wraps around from the box art all the way to the back here, where we have our information on the game. It says newly remastered and optimized for Nintendo Switch 2, new bonuses, collectibles, and more. Unleash new Doom powers and a new story campaign featuring Shadow. Reversible cover sheet, that's interesting. Oh, that's like the Japanese box art. Of course, it has the game keycard warning here. I don't believe there's actually any new content in this version. I don't think, at least. Let me know in the comments down below if they actually added anything new here. I don't think they did. I think it really is just this game running on Switch 2. Let's go ahead and crack it open here and see what's inside. They do mention that reversible cover sheet, which is nice. Sonic team doing their thing. It looks like the Sonic racing game, that's coming to Switch 2 after the other versions, though, which is really weird. I mean, this release proves that they already have dev kits for it, so why can't they get it ready? I don't know, very weird. Okay, we managed to get it off. Here is the front again, the spine, and the back of the box without the plastic on. Let's open her up and see what we got. Okay, so yeah, there is that reversible cover art. Here we have the game key card cartridge there for Shadow Generations, and then there is the back of it, although I don't really know if I need to be showing these in all these videos. I mean, who cares? Just the back of a game cartridge. So it looks pretty similar there. Then we have Robotnik's journal. I don't think I ever looked through this in the original. It's so hard to read on the screen, but it says journal property of Gerald R. Just a nice little thing going into the lore with Gerald Robotnik. Cool to have a piece of physical imagery inside of this. Shout out to Sega for at least doing something here with this release. Something to flip through, a little history of Gerald Robotnik, property of the Eggman Empire. So that should be the same thing that's in here. Oh, this one had a code. You know, I don't think I ever used that, so there you go. If you really need to use that. Oh, I must have used it because it's backwards. Okay, so I must have looked at it. There's also another code in here. Oh, that's the deluxe edition ad. So here's a comparison of both Sonic cartridges on Switch 1 and Switch 2 there for you. And it looks like the Switch 1 version also had this reversible cover art, so this is nothing new for the Switch 2 release, but let's take a look here. I think I actually like this art more, but I don't like doing reversible cover arts because you lose like the logo and stuff on the spine, and that really bugs me when they're on the shelf. So nice to have the option there if you are into reversible cover arts, but not for me, I don't think. That said, we have our Nintendo Switch 2 here. Let's go ahead and pop this cartridge in and see what the icon looks like. I'm not going to be surprised if it looks identical to the Switch 1 icon. That's probably what it's going to be. Take out Rune Factory here. I was playing that some more last night after doing the unboxing. Put this in. I made a mistake last night. I went back because I wanted to get some of my like first-party games and indie games I like on my system, and I ended up making a million downloads at once. So it says to use the game keycard, you need to download data. As we all know, 24 gig download. How big is this game on PS5? That feels really big for Sonic Shadow Generations. But there we have the icon on Nintendo Switch 2, and it's going to download. I'm going to make sure it downloads first so I can go play this right now, and I'll be back in a second with some handheld gameplay and impressions of the Switch 2 version. Okay, we are back with some handheld footage of both Sonic Generations and Shadow Generations. I did the first few levels of each to really get a feel for it, and originally, to my recollection, I'm pretty sure the Switch 1 version of this game ran at 30 FPS, and there were definitely some hiccups in there as well. This, as far as I can tell, is running at a locked 60, which, I mean, great. That should be a free update in my opinion, or at least there should be an option to pay for it. But the novelty of 60 FPS Nintendo games is still not really wearing off on me. The fact that I can play... I mean, Sonic is more in line with Nintendo, I feel like. You know, you don't need a PS5 Pro to play this type of game. The fact that I'm playing games that typically would run at 30 on Switch and handheld, playing them, seeing them in 60 FPS, is still not wearing off. Like, that's still just, it feels special to finally have a Nintendo handheld that is capable of doing this. As for the game itself, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm like the biggest Sonic fan in the world. I only played Shadow Generations when it came out back in October, and I think I might have messed around a little bit with Sonic Generations. I played Generations when I was younger, but I mostly played the 3DS version, so that is, I believe, an entirely different game. So I need to go through the full entirety of Sonic Generations. I think it'd be really cool if this had included those 3DS levels in some way, but unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see the handheld Sonic games brought back. It doesn't feel like they're gonna do that, but the game's running well. If you like Sonic, I mean, this is a great way to play the game now. I just wish Sega had an upgrade path. It's so weird to me that they're not doing that for this, but they're doing it for Team Sonic Racing, or sorry, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds later in the year. It also might be a bit hard to tell in the recording just how good it is running because Sonic is a fast game, so it just looks like there's a little bit of blur when you're going through. When you're actually playing it in handheld, in person, you're seeing it on that beautiful Switch 2 display. I mean, it really does just look very, very nice. But other than that, I mean, I can't really recommend the Switch 2 version if you already have the game. And even at $50, I mean, you can get the Switch 1 or PS5 version for so cheap now. This should have been an upgrade, either paid or really it should have been free. But even if not, if you are planning on picking this up on Switch 2, wait for a sale. Sega games always go on sale. By Black Friday, I guarantee this version of the game will be $20. They're not doing enough new here to really warrant an entire second purchase of the game, which I don't know. I mean, they could have at least thrown a few new levels in, maybe make it multi-platform, right? Maybe make some new levels and add them to the PS5 and Switch 1 versions as well, but something to like kind of celebrate this new Switch 2 release. At least it still includes the little Robotnik journal from the original version, but I don't know. This kind of feels like maybe the lowest effort, the lowest effort Nintendo Switch 2 launch title, to be honest, because it really is just the original game running better, which, if you like Sonic and Shadow Generations, like that's great. It's nice to have a version of it running properly on Nintendo now, more in line with the other platforms, but for $50, I don't know. This is also really exciting for future Sonic Team games on Switch 2. Honestly, it'd be really nice if they go back and patch a few of the others, most notably Sonic Frontiers. That game could desperately use a Switch 2 patch or addition on here. Once again, it should be free, but even as a paid upgrade, like, okay, just don't make us buy the entire thing again, because Sonic Frontiers on Switch, yeah, that didn't run too well. And I'm pretty sure, didn't Sonic Colors also have issues on Switch? And even Sonic Forces, like, it'd be nice if Sonic Team goes back now and fixes all of the other games and make them run a little better on Switch 2. But more importantly, the future Sonic games should hopefully be more in line with the PS5 version and run at 60 FPS, which, for a Sonic game, I feel like is pretty important. Unrelated to Shadow Generations, I will say, seeing the new crossover trailer for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds at the Summer Games Fest earlier today, I have never really gotten into a Sonic racing game before. I played a bit of Racing Transformed on Wii U, but this new one looks really good, honestly. Like, I gotta give it the praise it deserves. That game looks like a lot of fun, especially now that my boy Ichiban is in there. You have to assume Kiryu is in there as well. We have these other Sega franchises represented in there. Hatsune Miku is in the game for some reason. We're getting Minecraft Steve and Alex in the game. The Minecraft chorus looked really cool as well. So, yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Just wanted to include that in here since we're talking about Sonic anyway. But that is going to do it for this unboxing and a bit of handheld gameplay. It runs at 60 FPS. It runs much better than the Switch 1 version. I just wish Sega had offered some sort of upgrade path for those that already have it on Switch 1. If you're planning on picking up the game, I highly recommend, even though it is a good port, wait for a sale just because Sega games always go on deep sale very quickly, or at least Sonic games do anyway. So that is going to do it. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you're planning on picking up Sonic Shadow Generations on the Nintendo Switch 2, or maybe you already bought it, and if so, what do you think of the game so far? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch 2 unboxings, follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames, and my other Nintendo news channel at BoTalksGames, and click on one of the 2 videos on screen now to listen to me ramble about even more Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. Until next time, folks, peace!